Very, very unfortunate, Paul and fellow South Africans. I think I just want to remind South Africans about President Cyril Ramaphosa after the signing of our constitution in 1996. President Cyril Ramaphosa became a world statesman, being called by the international community to share the constitutional miracle achieved by South Africa. And I find it really quite bizarre and disingenuous for him years later that former President Jacob Zuma is violating our constitution. I wonder if President Cyril Ramaphosa is aware also that he's now the president of the country. He was responsible for going all over the world sharing this miracle of the constitution, and he's today, after signing the oath that he will protect this constitution, and he decides to stand on the fence. It's actually quite unfortunate and sad.
Through the actions of the president, in fact, as you noted, you say that the defiance, Zuma's defiance, Ramaphosa will demonstrate to the nation and the world that not only is he not in charge of the country, but he is in fact not even in charge of his own party. The political dynamics there, where do they leave, the president as well as the former president in terms of the balance of power?
Well, I think, honest for me and fellow South Africans, I wonder President Cyril Ramaphosa, as a legal person, to actually understand the risk he's putting this country into. You can imagine if senior leaders, the presidents of the country, begin the process of violating and showing total disrespect, showing a middle finger to the Constitution, what are the implications? And really would appeal to President Cyril Ramaphosa to provide leadership to this country. He's failed us. I think if you look at what has happened the last few years, I think since 1994, here we have our country run on an autopilot. We have the president whose allegiance is the ANC than South Africa. This is something that is really very strange, that is very unfortunate, and they're very dangerous for South Africa.
So as we assess the political dynamics, we also know that the former president, of course, was in that Tea Party with EFF leader Julius Malema, and also looking at the kind of relationship that they have had, the former president and EFF leader Julius Malema. It's been a history that has been filled with betrayal, lots of twists and turns and violence, a long and complex one. And then we hear of this Tea Party. What did you read, when it comes to reading between the lines with that matter? What were your thoughts?
Mpo, we're not going to be a country of boasting about people having tea when the country is shedding jobs, our economy is collapsing. You heard yesterday about the SIU around 13 billion rands of PPE and tenders flouted, money stolen, and honestly, I think a question of people who are going to have tea, let them have tea every single day, but it should not really be the priority of this country. This nation should focus on providing leadership. This country deserves the president and a government that can ensure that our economy is revived so that we create employment to our people, because employment gives people dignity.
I'd like for us to continue this conversation, of course, getting some response from you about what sort of action you think should be taken. Let's hold it there for now as we return in a short while. Herman Mashaba, leader of Action SA, who is talking to us about some of the implications and what's at stake when it comes to former President Jacob Zuma's defiance of appearing at the Zondo inquiry. That conversation coming back shortly. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. We continue to get reaction from Action SA leader Herman Mashaba, of course, looking at the dynamics after the Constitutional Court ordered former President Jacob Zuma to comply with all summonses issued to him by the Zondo Commission. Now, Mr. Mashaba, thank you for staying with us. And as we were discussing the impact of Zuma's actions on the country and looking at the nature of the economy and President Cyril Ramaphosa's voice, what action would you like to see? Because there is word that, former President Jacob Zuma will be planning to jet out of the country to avoid any sort of legal action. What are your thoughts around what should take place?
First of all, I think we're proud as Action SA when this matter of President Jacob Zuma intending to leave the country, we immediately brought it to the attention of the nation and made noise about it. And fortunate enough, he's still around. So we don't know, obviously, what his next move is. But I think we had led that the 15th is around the corner for him to see if he will appear before the Zondo Commission. But however, we're really quite disappointed because the President Cyril Ramaphosa has been quiet on this matter of such national importance. His silence is actually quite deafening. We expected Cyril Ramaphosa on Monday when he was addressing us, calling what he calls the family meeting. Before even talking about the COVID, talk about this national the matter of our constitution. We are appealing to him that the taxpayers of this country are under enormous pressure with our limited resources. We cannot, as a country, afford to continue paying for former President Jacob Zuma's packs when he's not really prepared to respect our constitution. We appeal to him at the next sitting of Parliament to start the process of rescinding the PECs that us as the South African the taxpayers are paying, because the man is not prepared to respect our constitution. Why then, therefore, should we then be responsible for his lavish lifestyles where he can have tea and we have the media and people interested in him? Let him obviously be at home and have as much tea as he wants, but it must come out of his pocket. But at the same time, we want our law enforcement agencies to act on this in the event he does not attend the Zondo Commission.
You've also said, sticking to that Tea Party, you said and proposed that they become that that the COVID party multi-party platform should exclude the EFF and the ANC. What would inspire this sort of remark and this sort of posture when it comes to that exclusion in that process?
I think from the time I launched the People's Dialogue on the 6th of December 2019, I made it abundantly unapologetic that in the event people of this country give us an opportunity to be in government, in the event we get into a coalition arrangement at local government level, we will never go into ANC at local or national level. We will not really work with the ANC. And the reason why we will not work with the ANC, because we regard ANC not as a political party, we regard them as a criminal enterprise. However, also with the EFF, we are happy if the EFF is happy to work with us at local government level, because at local government level, we don't deal with policies, we deal with service delivery, making sure that people have water and so forth. But at national level, we cannot speak. We cannot see how we can go into a coalition with the EFF when they actually encourage lawlessness. This whole issue of borders, asking people of the world to really come into South Africa, find creative ways to come into the country. When we have our borders, we are facing a massive challenge of our people not really receiving proper services because of the number of undocumented people that we have in the country. So how do you have a party that is in Parliament encouraging more people coming into our country, not really coming through the legal processes?
And very lastly, before we let you go, I mean, all we heard about this Tea Party is that it was nice and sweet and it was, a meeting about tea. What do you believe could be brewing there, or was it just a publicity stunt?
As far as I'm concerned, it's just a publicity stunt. It's a very dangerous relationship. I hope and pray that South Africans should not really fall into this, because just imagine these two individuals getting together to form a government. I can tell you and warn South Africans, I don't know where we're going to run to. So we've got everything possible to ensure that we safeguard this country through constitutional means. We've got local government elections later this year. We've got 2024 national elections. We have to protect, by all means, ensure that all South Africans, more especially the silent majority, the 18.3 million South Africans who did not go out to vote last time, please let us go out there and constitutionally and peacefully protect this country. That is our last hope, because you can imagine these two groups getting together, form a government. We will collapse this country. Zimbabwe will look like a Sunday school picnic in the event of South Africa collapsing.
Very well. Thank you so much for your time.